All right, so let's move on to the next section, which is creating this logo section here that says business and individuals who trust FinTrack. Okay, so what do we do? Quite simple. So we have our main wrapper. Inside it, we have our section home header and component statistics. So inside the main wrapper, we're going to bring in a div block here, and this div block is going to be called section underscore logo. That's what we're going to call it. Oops, that's what we're going to call it, section underscore logo. Yeah. Now, if you notice from the design, we have just a reasonable amount of space from the top down here, about 158 spacing, the space here. But from what we have here, we have so many spaces here, which doesn't make sense, and this is coming as a result of a decision we made earlier that is not working. Okay, so I have to go back and change some few things. Now you see this component statistics that we just drag down. Normally it's supposed to be here. Okay, normally it's supposed to be here like this. This is the normal position of that, but it is here. That is why we are having that weird spacing, because of this banner that we dragged up. So what we can do to solve that problem is we are going to make this component statistics, we're going to make it a child to this section home header. All right, we're going to make it a child because we want to apply an absolute position to it, so that we're not going to have that weird numbers of weird amount of space, this extra space. We don't want to have it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drag it inside of this section home header. I'm going to drag it like this to the right. Boom. Now it is now inside. Now it is now a child to this section home header. Now what we're going to do, before you make anything absolute positioning, I want to make this component statistics position absolute. We have to tell the parent of it to be position relative. That is like the rule for positioning. If you want to make an item, if you want to make an element position absolute, the parent of that element would have to be position relative. All right, you can read more about it, or I'll probably make a separate video on positionings. So the parent has to be relative, and now the child can now be absolute. Boom. Oops, where is it? Where has it gone to? Now it is just somewhere. I don't know where it is. What we can do is, because of this plenty 18 rem that we did here, all I need to do is I'm going to tell that element absolute to, now it is now absolute to section home header. All right, so I'm just going to position it at the bottom. Boom. That is all. So you can either position it at the top, which is now at the top, or to the left, or whatever. So what I'm going to do, since the section home header is relative, the component or the child is set to absolute, which means you can navigate it to different parts of the parent, either top, bottom, and or what have you. So we now have it at the bottom. Now what we need to do, now we now have lesser space. So all I can do is just to drag this 0 from the bottom a little bit to the top. Boom, at 10%. In fact, this is the best way to handle that banner, taking it to the top. This is the best way, but then you can't tell from the beginning, until you want to build maybe a new section. You will now see the reason. So these are just design decisions. All right, these are design decisions that you may not know from the start. If I had done this design before now, then I would have found the best way, but since it's my first time tackling it right on this video, so I can't really tell. So right now that I'm supposed to build this section logo, I now saw so many spaces, which doesn't make sense because of a decision I made creating this component statistics. All right, so I just corrected it now. So yes, you get to see that a lot when you're building with Webflow. You will see that some decisions that you made earlier are not the best. You would have to go back and change things and tweak things. It happens all the time. So right now we've corrected that plenty spaces. Now we have just the right amount of space. Boom, you see, like this, we have the right amount of space. Now we can go ahead with our section logo. All right, let's take this a little bit up again and see. Now we now have position absolutes. Go up a bit, maybe 10 is perfect. 10% is perfect. So inside the section logo, we're going to follow the core structure of client first again. Remember, for every section you're building, you have to follow the course structure unless it is not needed. Like how we built out this component statistics, we didn't need to follow the course structure. So inside the section logo, we're going to bring in a div block, and we're going to call that div block. Remember, the course structure says padding global container large. All right, so let's do that. Padding global, boom. Mind you, this section logo, you want to go to the settings here and set the tag to section. Very important. All right, now inside the padding global, you want to bring in another div block, and you want to say you want to call this container large. All right, now we have container large. Now inside the container large, let's start throwing in our content. After the container large, you want to say padding section, another div block, and say padding section, maybe padding section large, padding section medium. Yep, padding section medium. All right, so let's see the design again. So we have this businesses, and so this is like a text paragraph text or a text block. Then we have all the logos down here. Okay, so let's do that. Maybe we don't even need the padding section medium. So inside, after the container large, this div block is going to be logo wrapper. So this logo wrapper is going to wrap everything. So now inside the logo wrapper, you bring in another div block, and we're going to call this logo text. Maybe logo heading, not heading. Let's say logo text. All right, so you see how I'm naming my stuff. All right, logo text means this small text at the top. Now logo text, inside the logo text, you're going to bring in a text block. All right, you're going to bring in a text block, paste it in here, and notice how this text here is set to 24. The size here is 24. So what I'm going to do is simple. I'm just going to say my text block, I'm going to give it a class. There is a custom class. No, there is a class name for it, known as text, from our style guide again, using client first. All these things has been prepared for you to just use. Text size large. Text size large is what you want to use. Text size large would give your automatically set the size to 1.5 rem, which is what we are looking for. Now, how do we center it? If you notice here, it's on the center. It's very simple to do. Just have to go to your logo text, or maybe the logo wrapper, and just align it here. Or you can make it several ways you can do it. Either you make it display, maybe display, justify, middle, boom. Either you do this, that is one way, or whatever. Yeah, this is, let's just do it this way first for now. Now inside your logo wrapper, we have the logo text. That is for the text alone. Now still inside the logo wrapper, you want to bring in another div block. Okay, this is the div block. You will now call this one logo content. All right, logo content, or logo images, maybe logo content, or logo maybe logo content or logo image. Now let's do logo content. All right, let's do logo content. That's the content, which is obviously what I meant is the what's it called, the logo icons. All right, now notice how the logo content is closed. It's like this. You'll be wondering, why is it not aligned vertical? Because our logo wrapper is set to direction horizontal. Make it vertical. Boom, vertical, and align to the center. Good. Now we now have it, logo text at the top, logo content below. Now let's create this space in between them. We have this here. Oops, this space in between them is about, let me see how many spacing here. 48. That's like roughly, so from the logo wrapper, you want to set the gap in between them. Let's say 3 rem. 3 rem works, or 3.5 rem. 3.5 rem, as the case may be. All right, so inside the logo content, now you now want to say, bring in images inside of it. Images, these are the actual logos now. So let's choose our image. I will just choose Piggyvest. I have Piggyvest here as the first image. All right, so this is our first logo. Make it small. Now what I can do is maybe 150. Now we have this. Okay. Okay, good. Now we want to duplicate these images. Ctrl C, Ctrl V into like maybe 5 of them. How many do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. We have 6 of them. Now all these images are the logos, yeah? So now this logo content, you want to now display it vertically, because we want to create these spaces in between them, which is like how many? We have 80 pixel worth of space. That's about 5 to 6 rem thereabout. So the logo content, how can we do that? Is to align everything vertically. All right, align everything vertically and give a gap of, let's say, 5 rem. Boom. Oops, 5 rem is maybe too much. Maybe 3 rem worth of gap, or maybe 4 rem. Nope, let's do 3 rem. All right, good. We now have it like this. So if we preview here, you'll see what we have, all the logos. So from here to here, maybe the gap here is too much. You can just come here to your logo wrapper and change that to 3 rem. Good. So you see, that is that about that section. We are done building that section, and boom, you can just see, that's it. So now the next video we're going to do is creating this YOS section. See you in class.